I was just a normal, ordinary, dog-faced infantryman. And there were thousands of us out there, just dog-faced infantrymen, you know, all of whom gave so much, and so many of them that I knew and then lost, and the sacrifices they made.
Hello, I'm Hal Fritz, Volunteer Service Specialist here at the Bob Michel VA Outpatient Clinic in the heart of Peoria. We're glad you could join us today. We're going to show you what we have to offer our veterans here at the Bob Michel VA Outpatient Clinic. I think you'll be pleased to see what services are available for our veterans and how we provide those services. You're at the entrance of the Bob Michel VA Outpatient Clinic currently, where all the veterans enter when they first come to the clinic, and we'll be touring the clinic to include the medical areas, the laboratory, the specialty clinics, and the various areas of the clinic that provide special services and regular services to our veterans. You'll have the opportunity to have that tour guided by Dr. Dexter Hazelwood, the chief of the community-based outpatient clinics, and Nurse Susan Lavallee, the head of nursing here at the Bob Michel VA Outpatient Clinic. So at this time, I certainly would invite you to meet Dr. Hazelwood and Susan Lavallee. And here what you're seeing at the new Bob Michel VA Outpatient Clinic is state-of-the-art security surveillance in our security office that is manned by a Josh Youngblood, VA Police. We're able to monitor surveillance both in the clinic and outside the clinic, providing an extra margin of safety both for our patients and our employees. And this is what I refer to as Station 1, where the veterans coming into the VA are wondering how to get into the system. Where do they start? This is the eligibility office where the veterans sit down with Ms. Norma Hoffman and talk about the various levels of care and what their eligibility is, and this is where they initially register for VA services at the Bob Michel VA Outpatient Clinic.
Hello, good afternoon. I'm Dr. Hazelwood, Chief of the Community-Based Outpatient Clinics for the Veterans Administration. At this time, we are standing at the entrance of the atrium of the newly built 28,512 square foot building. State-of-the-art outpatient clinic. We believe among the largest, if not the largest, outpatient clinic in the Peoria area, with the possible exception of the Centers for Health of OSF. Ahead of me and to my left is our state-of-the-art pharmacy that processes over 2,000 prescriptions on a daily basis, covering the 5 C box. We have 5 pharmacists and 5 pharmacy techs that accomplish this task. We see physically in excess of 100 patients who walk in daily for their prescriptions to be completed. We are now at the laboratory where specimens are collected, both urine and blood and other bodily fluids. Numerous specimens are done on a daily basis in excess of approximately 100. Much of the processing is done on site, some of which is prepared and sent to Danville and other locations for processing.
Hello, I'm Susan Lavallee, Nurse Manager for the Veterans Peoria Community-Based Outpatient Clinic. And I want to show you here the middle of our waiting room and reception area for our veterans. You'll notice we have a lot of individual cubicles that have both privacy and visibility. So our patients are able to be checked in and be able to give all their information without any invasion of privacy. We currently have 10 medical clerks that check in all our patients and handle all our scheduling of appointments, canceling appointments, calling people for reminders.
We are now located in our state-of-the-art and expanded physical therapy suite, where we have 2 therapists who serve the needs of our veterans. We see in excess of 25 patients on a daily basis, ranging from the most recent veterans to the elderly veterans. from physical trauma to neurological damage that comes with age. We have ultrasound and laser treatments, both state-of-the-art, for the care of our patients with maladies. Complementing our physical therapy is speech therapy for many of our young veterans who have come back with the new phenomena of traumatic brain injury that we have recognized, and we are specializing in caring for these veterans. Here we have 4 of our newest audiology booths that are manned by 2 audiologists on a daily basis. Audiology, we're taking care of patients who have hearing difficulties. In the military, our veterans are often exposed to long periods of loud noises, which compromise hearing over time and require assistive devices in the form of hearing aids. These booths diagnose the people who will benefit from these prosthetic devices. Our booths are double-paneled doors, which increase the quality of the testing that is able to be done. Our floors are set into the ground without a ramp, and that is for the increased safety and convenience of our disabled and wheelchair-bound veterans.
We are now in our podiatry clinic. We have 2 full-time podiatrists and 2 LPN nurses that assist them. They see patients approximately 50 per day in their clinics. They do minor surgeries here, as well as all the normal everyday foot care required for many of our veterans. Diabetic patients, as well as those that have wound healing problems with their feet, come to the podiatry clinic for care. Our 2 podiatrists also do surgery in Danville, which has the full OR suite if someone requires anesthesia. A very busy clinic and very badly needed, as many veterans suffer from long-term and progressive problems with their feet and their ankles due to all their military service required of them.
And here we have Nurse Jeannie Hireman. She's our telemedicine nurse, and she will explain to you a bit of this program.
Hello. Telemedicine utilizes real-time technology through teleconferencing equipment. This enables the patients to receive specialty services at a time and location that is the most convenient to them without the requirement of extensive and frequent travel to tertiary care centers. We have a real-time camera here. We utilize 9 different clinics right now, and in fact we are going to be the first in the nation to start the teleosteoporosis clinic, enabling patients to come here for osteoporosis conditions.
And now we're in one of our optometry examining rooms. We have 2 full-time optometrists and an optometry tech that serve our veterans' eye needs. We do prescription glasses and any eye injuries that may come through our doors. You're now viewing one of our handicap access bathrooms for the convenience of our veterans.
You're now viewing our home-based patient care office. It employs 3 full-time RNs, a full-time community health nurse, a kinesthesiologist, a social worker, and a part-time pharmacy tech. They care for our veterans in their homes when they're not able to make it to the clinic. They approach it in a multidisciplinary manner with social worker and nursing services to meet our patients' needs.
You are now viewing one of our 2 radiology suites. This suite houses our DEXA scan, which is state-of-the-art for evaluating bone density in the diagnosis of osteoporosis. And as you may recall, we are one of the first clinics to do the teleosteoporosis clinic. In this suite, we do our various X-ray imaging, I should say, of various body parts. And we also do ultrasound screening for abdominal aortic aneurysms. Apart from the ergonomic design of this clinic and the increased functionality, there's also been planning for the future. At this time, we do not have an MRI, but we are equipped to house one when we get to that point.
We're now in the primary care area, and as you see, nurses' work is never done. We actually have Dolores Wenzel here, one of our excellent patient care managers, an RN that's been with us for a long time. And I want to talk a little bit about the primary care area. We have 9 PAC teams, patient-aligned care teams. In moving away from the old-fashioned patient care model, where you would see any doctor when you came in, we're now moving to having 1 doctor, 2 nurses, and a clerk, as you would in a small office. So each veteran can see their individual patient-aligned care team every time they come in or call or have a need. So again, we're trying to move to a more individualized care to meet our veterans' needs. We have assistance of a diabetic educator. We have 2 dietitians that work with us, and they sponsor many programs for our veterans, whether it's patients that have chronic illness like congestive heart failure, hypertension, diabetes. They fill those needs for our veterans.
This is typical of one of our primary care examining rooms where we take care of our veterans. We also have in this area the OIF and OEF care teams. OIF standing for Operation Iraqi Freedom and Operation Enduring Freedom. For emergencies and unanticipated events, we have a triage room that is closely situated to our ambulance entrance. We're now in the mental health suite where we have 2 psychiatrists, 2 psychologists, a nurse practitioner, 4 full-time social workers, and 1 full-time RN who provide mental health care to our veterans for disorders ranging from psychotic disorders, affective disorders, anxiety disorders, adjustment disorders, and substance abuse disorders. In our mental health suite, our treatment modalities include psychopharmacologic treatments, individual and group psychotherapies, conjoint therapy, crisis intervention, and at this time you're viewing our vocational rehabilitation suite.
And now that we've moved to a larger clinic, we've got a greater space for the challenged veterans that are handicapped to get to those services. PCCEO came to our rescue and said we could help out, and they donated 2 very nice mobility scooters that are available for our veterans while at the clinic, utilizing the services of the clinic. Beyond that, we have veterans that go to Indianapolis, and the same organization donated overnight hygiene kits that the veterans may take with them when they go on the trip to Indianapolis. And even beyond that, in our laboratory, they came to our aid again and provided a hydraulic lift chair to assist in drawing blood in our drawing rooms. And we're very, very thankful for the generosity and the continued support of that fine organization and their kind offer.
Well, thank you so much for taking this tour of our state-of-the-art clinic, of which we are very proud and delighted to bring services to all of our veterans. If you would like to contact us, you can call us at 1-800-320-8387. And we are located at 7717 North Orange Prairie Road here in Peoria, Illinois.
Dennis Egelmeyer. We're here at the Webster Head Start, and you see the classroom is empty now, but just because this year for Head Start is over doesn't mean the work stops for the staff of Head Start. We're with Lamar Anderson, Family Services Specialist, to tell us about already you're taking enrollments for the 2011-2012. First of all, Lamar, tell us exactly what is Head Start.
Head Start is a program that is designed for children we actually have early Head Start as well as Head Start. It's designed from birth to 5. The goal of the program is to unlock the windows of growth and development in young people to help them so when there's time for them to transition into kindergarten, they make a smooth transition into kindergarten.
And the fact is that Head Start provides services not only for the children but also the parents.
Yes, as family services specialists, what we do is we identify the needs of families and connect them to the community resources that he or she may need to be successful, be it education, be it employment, whatever they may need so that they are able to fully be successful as a family.
What are some of the services that parents can take advantage of? Can they get like GED referrals? Do you have socialization, things like that?
We have a variety of different things that families can take advantage of. In regards to education, just say someone does need their GED, we are partnered with a program that assists adult learners to obtain their GED, as well as we do a variety of different things throughout the month that brings families together. Here at Head Start, one of the major things we believe is that the education actually comes from a parent first, but we want to provide opportunities and locations for them to actually get together and do some of those things together. So we've done everything from socializations right here at our Webster Head Start to taking parents to different places like Parade of Lights, Chicago Bulls games, plays, a lot of different things like that.
Sounds like a great environment for both children and parents to ensure success as they enter kindergarten and beyond. Tell us about the enrollment. How can somebody enroll their child for the next school year?
That's a very easy process. We are currently in full-fledged enrollment status. All someone has to do is either call down here at our Webster Head Start. The telephone number here is area code 309-671-3960. You will be connected to someone who will walk you through the entire process. They're going to let you know everything you need to have an application completed. Then we're also going to be conducting full-out orientations and enrollment fairs to help you get that application completed. So when the fall starts, your child will actually start here at the Head Start program.
Today marks a significant milestone in the history of Bob Michel's VA Outpatient Clinic as we dedicate this new facility. And what a magnificent facility it is. What a thrill to have Hal Fritz, our master of ceremony for this event. Now see, he didn't say very much about himself, but let me tell you who we have in the midst of us. Hal is not only an employee here at the clinic, and not only a combat Vietnam veteran, but also a Congressional Medal of Honor recipient. Hal is the Vice President of the Congressional Medal of Honor Society. Currently, there are 85 living recipients of the 3,456 Medal of Honor awarded since 1861. We appreciate you, Hal, for what you've done, the service that you've given to our great nation, and now serving veterans at this clinic. Thank you. Having ceremonies like this helps us to celebrate and recognize the many contributions and sacrifices the men and women who have so proudly served this great country. Being a combat Vietnam veteran, I've seen firsthand the loyalty and the dedication of individuals that have worn the uniform. What an honor and a privilege to have Mr. Bob Michel here today. It was on June the 25th, 2005, when VA Ileana Healthcare System renamed the clinic the Bob Michel VA Outpatient Clinic. Now, almost 6 years later, we are dedicating this state-of-the-art of a 39,000 square foot clinic. Mr. Michel, we appreciate you serving this country and wearing the uniform and being a combat veteran, and also for the many years you continue to be the advocate for veterans as a member of Congress. We appreciate you.
Well, thank you, Hal Fritz. Thank you for all you've done for our country and continue to do. And thank you all for being here. For the veterans in the audience and family members, today is really all about you. The facility behind me is built for you. And I can't tell you how excited I am that this day has finally come. I'm extremely honored to be here with my distinguished colleague, Senator Mark Kirk, as well as my predecessor and leader, Bob Michel. Thank you both for being here as well. Director Hamilton, I think you've thanked just about everybody. But you forgot to thank yourself. You've been a real pleasure to work with the last 3 years, and I can tell you that this wouldn't have happened without your help as well. And so on behalf of those in the audience and those who will use this facility for decades to come, thank you for your leadership as well. You know, as an elected official, I get invited to make hundreds of speeches through the 20 counties that I represent in the United States Congress, but I will tell you that today will live with me for a long time. Ceremonies and tributes like today are solemn reminders of our country's past and a definitive statement about our country's future. It has been said a million times, but there is no more noble cause than that of service to one's country. As I look out over all of you, I'm reminded of that here today. One of our country's most solemn promises is dedicated to those who serve in our armed forces. Our promise to you is this, and has always been, that we will never forget you, and we will take care of you when you return home. Today is a continuation of that promise. George Washington once remarked, "The willingness with which our young people are likely to serve in any war, no matter how justified, is directly proportional to how they perceive the veterans of earlier wars were treated and appreciated." Pretty profound from our nation's first president. And that is quite a statement and legacy that we continue to uphold here in the United States. This new clinic is not just an upgrade, but a pledge to ensure you continue to receive the care that you all deserve. This new 37,000 square foot clinic has already begun to provide the type of health care and services that we expect in a new and modern veterans facility. Patient rooms have doubled from 14 to 28, and with the expansion of the new clinic, 20 to 30 new additional patients each day can be seen in the building behind us. This is an important aspect to a growing veterans population here in Central Illinois. The previous clinic treated 9,851 veterans last year, over 48,000 individual visits alone. Both of those numbers are expected to increase dramatically as more and more men and women come back from overseas. With any new modern facility, more medical services can be provided in this new facility. This includes specialized services such as optometry, audiology, neurology, home-based primary care, and the need for ever-growing mental health and diagnostics for our veterans. As discussions were ongoing about the new clinic, one of the suggestions we heard the most had to do with the location and convenience for our veterans. Well, if you look around us, I think we've accomplished just that. With the proximity to our major highway, a bus stop out front, there's no problem with ease for veterans getting to and from this clinic. Now, this clinic is not just a reflection of the veterans it serves, but it's a tribute to the community that honors them. When things look like they may not come together, or the process was slowed down, this community united behind their local heroes and refused to take no for an answer. Now, I'd be remiss if I didn't say a few words about the man that this building is named after. Our country is full of good men, but I can honestly stand here today and say that Bob Michel is a great man. Peoria, Central Illinois, and this country owe a debt of gratitude for a life of service he has given to all of us. Bob Michel is no stranger to service and sacrifice. In fact, he epitomizes the definition of both. He is part of the greatest generation. He fought all over Europe, received a Purple Heart, 2 Bronze Stars, and 4 Battle Stars. He was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the highest civilian honor, presented the Citizens Medal, our nation's second highest presidential award, and later today, the recognition of his service continues as the American Legion will be awarding Bob with their 60-year pin. Now, Bob is a man of extraordinary significance to our community and to our country. But what may stand out above all is how serious he took his job as our member of Congress. He understood better than most during his time in Congress what it meant to vote to send troops into harm's way. And it was never an easy decision for him. While others would beat the war drum, he held steadfast in his belief that military conflict was not just another vote, but a deeply personal one. Yet he knew that as a country, we could ill afford to sit idly by when our national defense was involved. Bob Michel once said, and I quote, "We think that peace is just given to you. It's not just given. It has to be won by sacrifice, by vigilance, by courage. Each generation has to be prepared to do the job." As we gather here today, a new generation has emerged to defend our country, and they are doing it with the same honor and dignity of the generation before them, in large part because of the legacy that was left for us to follow. As I end my remarks, I stand a little taller and prouder today. The thanks of a grateful nation can never repay you, Bob, for your service and sacrifice. Yet it is my hope that through efforts like this new clinic and ceremonies like today, that you realize that your contributions have not been overlooked, and that your courage continues to strengthen the foundation on which our country was built. In her hour of need, you proudly answered liberty's call, and for that, we honor you here today. Now, it's an additional honor to be joined today by United States Senator Mark Kirk, my former colleague in the House of Representatives. It is an understatement to say that then Congressman Kirk was our go-to guy on national security matters. He was among the most prolific in sponsoring unique and sorely needed legislation on foreign policy and national security matters. Senator Kirk has a phenomenally deep understanding of complex national security issues and impressive insights regarding nearly all the hotspots around the world. I share the widely held belief in Congress that Mark Kirk is one of the most intelligent people to serve in the House and Senate. That inherent intelligence is compounded by a relentless search to discover new insights and to gain a greater understanding of what is behind the conflicts of the world. Senator Kirk, to me, is not just a partner in the United States Senate, but an invaluable resource to call on whenever a need presents itself. Part of the reason why Senator Kirk is such an effective legislator and his opinions are so highly regarded is because Senator Kirk is also Commander Kirk. No, not from Starship Enterprise, but in the U.S. Navy. He continues to be an intelligence officer in the Navy, which only deepens his understanding and strengthens his insights. This service in our military since 1989 is one more way Mark Kirk continues to serve his country. In Aviano, Italy, during the Kosovo campaign, Commander Kirk was the lead intelligence officer of a combat intelligence action team, the largest EA-6B intelligence shop in the history of naval aviation. His commanding officer during that time said, quote, "His intelligence, leadership skills, and keen understanding of global affairs are an asset that the Navy and the Congress are fortunate to enjoy." I have always deeply believed that balance is the key to good government. The more balanced the membership of the body, the better the government we get.